Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we are going to talk about tools for your construction company. Now, a lot of you may think tools aren't that big of a deal and a hammer is a hammer, but in reality, tools can make a whirlwind of difference, especially if you're in a specialty contracting service like we are. Those are what set you apart from everybody else. They set you apart from your handyman services. They set you apart from your general contractors. Having those specialty tools will ultimately help you to stand out, but also be way more productive within your job. All right, let's dive into it. So the first thing we're going to talk about is having the right tool and how can it impact you being efficient and productive with the project that you have at hand. So if you're going to go do a plumbing job and you don't have the right tools, like a glue or a saw or things of that nature to actually like repair plumbing parts, you're not going to be able to do the job. If you show up with a hammer and a bag of nails, that's not going to be efficient. So one thing that we've come to find out is having the right tools to help our production team dig more effectively, to help them break out concrete more effectively, ultimately makes you as the company a lot more efficient, but efficiency also adds to your profit. So make sure that you're efficient with the tools that you have, and always be looking for new tools, because there's always tools that are coming out that will help keep your guys more efficient and way more productive. That also helps your company be way more profitable. The next thing that we're going to talk about with tools is spending a little bit more money to get high quality tools that will last longer, not have the downtime that other tools can have. Basically just saving you time and money in regards to that down labor time, or coming off the job because you don't have the right tool, or doing a Home Depot run or a hardware store run to go get another replacement tool. All that factors into the amount of money you should be spending on that particular tool, especially if it's an everyday use tool. I can see tools like, a grinder here or something like that there that are throwaway items that you can get a surplus of like Harbor Freight. Those are great for those type of specialty things, like one and done type things. You know you're gonna throw it away, you're hoping to get through the job without having to get a replacement. That's great for you. But whenever you have a 3 or 4 or 5 man crew, let's say they have only one grinder on site and that goes down and they have to get this thing done before they can do on the next phases of this project. All that downtime, you have 5 man hours going into just sitting there watching this one grinder go. Imagine if that goes down, then you have 5 bodies just sitting there waiting for a replacement part, and that now $10 grinder that you bought at Harbor Freight turns into a $400 grinder from Harbor Freight because you have all that additional labor cost. So that's something to think about. The last point is the long-term cost of keeping a quality tool as well as the repairs. We've gone into a Hilti program where we have a rental agreement with, basically a lease rental agreement with Hilti. So if a tool breaks, Hilti brings one either to our job site or drops one off at our office where we replace it that day. So that's highly effective in keeping that tool carousel not filled up with broken tools. We went through that when we started for first couple years. We would buy tools off eBay, think we're getting a discount. Then 2 months later, tools broke. Sitting back there, we just started stockpiling pieces of equipment, and it's not fun to go back and look at. And then all of a sudden, like, we're buying new equipment. So now I've already bought this, it's broke, I can't resell it. And now I've already bought this, and it's just a catch-22 you find yourself in. The Hilti program is actually really good in regards to removing some of the liability and that downtime off of you and putting it back on to Hilti supplying you the tools to continue to do your job. Is we want to make sure that you guys understand the value of quality tools and tools that are up and running at max capacity. Because you got to start getting out of the mindset of how much this tool costs and start looking at all the other variables that actually go into that tool costing you money. That labor cost can eat up so much of the profit for your projects at a very rapid rate that you don't really see because you're so fixated on the cost of this tool. And again, like I said, you got to weigh the pros and cons. You got to know where your business is at in its life cycle. And sometimes you just have to. Like, if cash flow is an issue, it's just an issue. Like, you have to do the $5 tool versus the $200 tool at the time. But just know that you're probably gonna have to replace that, and you're probably gonna have repairs, or that you're just setting yourself up for a goal to get back to this $200 tool to then not have this downtime and this labor overburden. So it's gonna wrap this one up. Until next time, this is Brian reminding you never settle for shitty tools.